Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum and good afternoon for everybody. First of all, let me thank our dear brothers here at IAIS, Professor Kamali, Dr. Azzam, and the panelists, of course, our dear brother Dr. Muzaffar, Dr. Hassan, Dr. Hafizi, and our dear friend Jason, our dear brother Tansri Ahmed Al-Farra, our former ambassador. Actually, what we have listened this morning to everybody was very important, and many facts were very accurate. For us Palestinians, we will always keep in touch with all parties in the world. We need the support of everybody. We need a collective efforts of all the friends and all the brothers before that. Whatever we see and we listen to different views, we will always appreciate the talks of everybody. But at the same time, as you know, we are in a corner as Palestinians, being for more 7 decades under the Israeli occupation. Just to give you a brief history for 2 minutes, that in 1947 there was no Israel actually, and they have brought the resolution 181 to the United Nations to call for 2-state solution. We have agreed to compromise and talk about 2-state solution since the international community has called for this. In 1947, they have agreed on this. So basically there was a proposal of 2-state solution, resolution 181 that calls for 2-state solution with East Jerusalem as the capital of the state of Palestine and West Jerusalem as the capital of Israel. Then in 1948, just 1 year after that, the state of Israel was presented or existed, and unfortunately after 7 decades we have not got the second part of the resolution, which is the establishment of the state of Palestine with East Jerusalem as its capital. When we listen lately to President Donald Trump, we can say 3 things. First of all, his declaration is a contradiction to the international community's will. How could you say 2-state solution and then come and say Jerusalem as the capital of Israel? It seems that Donald Trump is not aware about history or politics. He just wants to win business, as he is just like a wrestler who wants to win with the kickbacks or have more business. But at the same time, we say that Palestine or Jerusalem is not part of USA, and it's not in the jurisdiction of Donald Trump. We Palestinians, we will always keep in touch with all parties, and in fact, after the declaration of Donald Trump, the Palestinian leadership is consulting with all parties in the world to see if there are serious sponsors for peace process, or whether we are talking about 2-state solution or 1-state solution. We have been talking about only 1-state solution about Palestine before 1947. 1948 we are talking about 2-state solution, but this can never go forever. We can always revise if we can see that there is no seriousness in the Israeli government or with the US administration. Actually, we have negotiated for more than 20 years with the Israelis, but we got nothing. As the former late Israeli Prime Minister Yitzhak Shamir said once when he was asked by one of the journalists in Madrid that, are you serious to give Palestinians their rights or to declare the state of Palestine to implement the 2-state solution? Then he smiles a little bit and says, or rather said, that we can negotiate for 20 years without giving anything to Palestinians. That means that we might not even get anything from negotiations with the Israelis. But as I told you, we need the support of everybody. In fact, we do not for us Palestinians, we do not want to criticize any part in the world, from the brothers or the friends, because we basically need the support of everybody. We want to have collective efforts. We want to have support from all people in the world, from Muslims and non-Muslims. When I see our dear friend Jason talking about the attachment of Christians to Palestine, to Jerusalem, to Bethlehem, that is like Muslims attached to Baytul Maqdis, to Al-Haram al-Sharif, to Al-Masjid al-Aqsa al-Mubarak, to Al-Quds al-Sharif, which is the capital of the state of Palestine. Palestinian leadership, Palestinian people will never give up. Jerusalem will only be the capital of the state of Palestine. And if the Israelis are not serious enough, if the US administration is not aware of this, they should really bear in mind that Palestinians will never give up. And in Palestine, we only have one enemy, which is the Israeli occupation to Palestine. In fact, all Palestinians are united despite some, different views in Palestine. And inshallah, this coming 14th of January, there will be a meeting of the Palestinian Central Council where all parties are invited. Fatah, Hamas, Popular Front, Democratic Front, Jihad, and all parties are invited, and they have basically agreed to come and participate. So that is what we are looking for really. We really have to be united. We have to be united against the Israeli occupation. We only face one enemy, which is the Israeli occupation to Palestine. We know that Israel has occupied some parts in Palestine in 1948 and annexed the other parts in 1967. But at the same time, they might look for other lands in other countries, neighboring countries, to annex. So that is also a dangerous part. But I must tell you that Palestinian leadership is very much keen to go on now to consult with all brothers and friends in the world to look for a real sponsor for peace process. We have any other parts. USA will never be sponsoring the peace process again. And the Palestinian leadership has rejected it clearly. And His Excellency President Mahmoud Abbas has clearly rejected the declaration by Donald Trump, because that is a contradiction. Trump will come in the morning and talk about peace process. We want to go, but he never fulfilled his promise. He just wanted to go to different countries, just collect much more money, have much more business, but we never see seriousness in the US administration. We can say that Donald Trump is really grabbing USA for a real problem in the world. But at the same time, we would like to thank, by the way, the Malaysian government. Would like to thank the honorable government, the honorable Prime Minister of Malaysia, with the government of Malaysia, with the support that we can really see, a collective support by all Malaysians. And we have seen lately the demonstrations and the support by all Malaysians, Muslims and non-Muslims. We know that Muslims are very much attached to Palestine, because when we talk about Jerusalem, it is the capital of Palestine. It is for Palestinians basically, but Jerusalem is for all Muslims. So we hope that we can have the support of all Muslims in the world to have collective efforts actually. We have different parties in the world. We have Russia, we have China, we have Japan, we have the European Union. And His Excellency President Mahmoud Abbas is meeting with the European Union on the 22nd of this month. And inshallah on the 17th and 18th, there is a meeting, summit rather, on the Al-Azhar in Cairo for Jerusalem. So we hope that we can always have the support of Malaysia, support of all friends of Malaysia, because Malaysia can only, not only rather support Palestine, but also lobby with all their brothers and friends to come together to support Palestine, because this is in the faith of all Muslims and non-Muslims to protect Palestine and Jerusalem, Baytul Maqdis, Al-Masjid al-Aqsa al-Mubarak from the Israeli occupation. And whatever the Israelis will do using media, as Professor or Dr. Muzaffar said, Professor Hassan and other people, using media, using different businesses. But we say that we will always go on and fight and struggle for our freedom, for our justice. And perhaps what Trump has done has, giving a chance for awareness among all Muslims, among all people in the world, supporting people. And we can say that the vote at the United Nations with 128 countries, and by the way, after the 128 countries, we have received letters from different countries who abstained or was against this, and they said we had actually, perhaps technical problem in voting on. They said that we was not aware, they were not aware about the situation because they were threatened by the USA president and the so-called Nikki Haley and other people that not to vote with Palestinians. But they discovered that they have made a big mistake, so they have written us a letter and say that we are supporting Palestinians, we are with you. And we can say that a number of the abstain countries or the against countries, about 6-7 countries, they only have 1/4 of Gaza City. So, I mean, it's just a small countries like Dr. Hafiz mentioned a while ago. But at the same time, we highly appreciate the support of everybody in the world. We need collective efforts to come together, and terima kasih khas to Malaysia. Thank you very much for IAIS. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.